Hey everybody, what's going on? You Mad Big T back on Talent Talks. 3 magic words by U.S. Andersen. Carrying on. The elusive infinite. Man's words and conceptions with which he demonstrates his earthly control are hardly adequate in tackling the realms of the spirit. Take the word infinite. Man has decided that infinite means never ending. He understands a straight line. He claims to understand an infinitely long straight line. Yet if you were to take 2 cross lines infinitely long and attempt to uncross them, you would find that as you moved them away from each other, the point at which they were crossed moved farther and farther away from you. But since the lines never ended, they could never be uncrossed. You could at the point you were grasping them, be holding them parallel to each other, and still they would not be uncrossed, even though they were straight lines. Obviously, the conscious mind in its measurements and numbers is scarcely capable of dealing with the infinite. Again, take man's conception of time, a matter of the Earth's revolution on its axis and its path about the sun, a matter of seconds and minutes and hours and days and months and years and centuries. Time, you might say, is as fixed a conception as there could possibly be, an unvarying measurement. Yet in human experience, it has long been established that a second can be as long as a minute, an hour as long as a day. Einstein, in his theory of relativity, has expressed in the language of science the variability of time. Essentially, he has shown that the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second, is man's conception infinitely fast. For at the speed of light, a mass would be infinitely big, and time would stand still. On the basis of this theory, it has been worked out that a space ship traveling 185,999 miles, 0.9 miles per second, could circumnavigate the universe in a period of time that would be 30 years to the occupants of such a ship. Yet to those on the Earth, the spaceship would be gone 10 million years. Wow. Yet despite conceptual inadequacies, science has proven that every physical law of the universe has a corresponding spiritual law. Science has shown us that matter and energy are one, that even the heaviest and sturdiest materials are simply a collection of free-moving molecules banging against each other, moving at tremendous speeds. Through the use of spectroscopes, elements have been discovered on far-flung planets that weigh as much as 100 tons per cubic inch. Electronics may one day transmit masses around the world in a fraction of a second, even as pictures are now being transmitted. Certainly, this is no age in which to hold the idea that anything in the way of bridging space and time and form is impossible to the mind or the spirit of man. The challenge of the invisible. There have been, in records of history, man-enlightened men, teachers, scientists, spiritual advisors, and poets, and each of them has had this thing to say in common. There is a great medium of mind and intelligence that is in and surrounds every human being. This intelligence is all intelligence and knows and does everything. This intelligence, God, is an eternal creator, creating that which the mind of man thinks. A doctor whose professed views on life were on a strictly material plane has said, "I have cut many a body open and I have never found a soul." To which it would be answered, "Undoubtedly true, but while you were there, did you ever find a thought?" The invisible plane of human existence offers the greatest challenge and the greatest hope for all of mankind. A young woman, born and raised in the United States, not able to read or write, and speaking only the English language, was sitting in the front room with her father not many years ago, when through the front door came a longtime friend of her father's who had just arrived from Greece. At the sight of him, the young woman rose from her seat and began speaking rapidly to him in his native tongue, a language she had never heard nor studied. The man from Greece broke down and wept, for the young woman had just informed him that his wife back in Greece had died. Subsequent checking proved this young woman's revelation to be true. She had circumvented the barriers of space, time, and language to reveal this strategy to this gentleman she had never seen before. Wow, thought transference maybe? Another woman whose contact with the universal intelligence was acute was able to provoke physical occurrence through nothing but thought. In demonstration, under the surveillance of a group of highly trained scientific minds, she activated through nothing but thought a light switch over which a soap bubble had been placed. The switch was turned on, the bubble remained unbroken. Wow. The truth lies in looking inward. So great is the newly recognized power of thought that groups are organizing throughout the world, aiming at the creation of peace through thought power. What else is this but prayer? What else is this but the transmission of desire into the creative mind of the universe? Done correctly and with power, it must succeed. The responsiveness of universal mind to thought has long been beautifully taught by Dr. Ernst Holmes and his Institute of Religious Science in Los Angeles. Dr. Holmes has authored a number of fine books on the healing powers of positive beliefs and maintains at his institute a spiritual treatment clinic that makes miracles an everyday occurrence. Yet Dr. Holmes smiles when they are called miracles. They're only the use of the law of the mind in action, he says. Change the idea of the thing and you change the thing. It's that simple. This great plastic creative medium, this subconscious mind, this mind of the universe in which there is all knowledge, all wisdom, and all power, is ours to use every day that we live. We are using it now. We can't help using it. We are using it in such a degree and in such a manner as we understand it. And more often than not, we are using it in such a manner as to create unhappy circumstance and situation, delaying it, not forbidding the realization of our own God-given divinity. It is our purpose here to impart understanding of the great intelligence to which you belong, to point out the errors of thought and the false circumstances that have locked you away from self-realization. This locked-in viewpoint, this limitation we impose upon ourselves must be dissipated. We have looked around us at the material world, made judgments about things and people, and then imposed those judgments upon ourselves. By looking outward, we have achieved what we believe to be knowledge about ourselves, and this is falsity of the very highest degree. Competition versus creativeness. If you were to take an average person living in the United States of America and ask him, "Who are you?" he would answer with either his name or his job or both. Similarly, he has an impression of his own success, his own wealth, his own ability, and his own desirability, which he has gained not from looking within, but from comparing himself with those around him. The essence of mankind is not competition, it is creativeness. In all this world there is not another you, nor has there ever been another you. It is not ridiculous to attempt to mold yourself into a likeness of your fellows, to attempt to undo the work that God has done. For you, as an especial part of the universal intelligence, are manifested here on this earth in the form of you now occupy this earth in the form you now occupy to do the work that only you can do. No matter how humble your job may seem, no matter how prepossessing your position in life, take heart. The universe has sired no other person like you. Only you can be you. Only you can draw upon the infinite for those divine powers that are yours. There is a fine line of demarcation, between competition and creativeness in the minds of everyone today. Yet there are black and white, completely opposite on the polar scale. Competition attempts to be like creativeness, attempts to be unlike. Competition casts all humanity into the same mold. Creativeness makes of each man an individual counterpart of God. Competition exists on the plane that makes you want to have a better home than Jack Smith, a better car than Jack Smith, a better job than Jack Smith. It leads you into the suffocating trap of not wanting the different, but wanting the same, only better. It imposes upon you a scale of values that is not your own, but belongs to a group. It's very true. Creativeness, on the other hand, is a world all your own. If you were to take a brush and palette in the hand right now and paint a picture in oils, the result, good, bad, or indifferent, by the world's standards, would be all your own. The finest artist living could not copy it exactly. Does not this prove there is no other like you. Conformity and competition are death knells to the spirit. Creativeness and nonconformity are an expansion into cosmic understanding. That's a good paragraph. Only you can be you. Enlightenment. Your security in life depends entirely on your recognition of your divine nature. Money, home, insurance policies, and position are like wraiths in the night. There are no banks in the hereafter, nor pockets in a coffin. All the things of the world change. They are born, they blossom, they bear fruit, and they die. Only the great unity, your own association with the infinite, your own individual manifestation of the universal mind of God, only that is changeless. Your recognition and use of this great truth will provide you with such security as you have never dreamed, will cast you into proper perspective every aspect of your life, will unloose in you such a flood of creative energy as to fill your life to brimming with success, accomplishment, and vigor. There's a key to this attainment. Could we but break down the barriers established by your conscious mind, remove your prompters with but a word, the key could be given to you now and your life would be changed this moment. But the conscious mind acting in accord with the insidious prompters is strong. Only hundreds of pages of discourse and proof will weaken its prejudice. Only diligent daily application of the principles of this book will finally dissipate all doubt. For faith is the great mover, the father of all creation. With each chapter, you will develop your powers of faith and intuition. There will come a time, an hour, perhaps a moment when you feel a flash inside you, when suddenly all the world will assume a shape and a mold that will seem divinely inspired for you alone. Wow, that would be amazing. Points to remember. In the meantime, you must go step by step. There's no quick, easy road to anything worthwhile. Take from this first chapter the principal points covered and record them indelibly in your memory. They are: there is a power greater than you are, which you can use to make your life vibrant, successful, and happy. 2. This power is the universal creative mind, the subconscious mind, and you are using it now. You can't help using it. 3. All of us live and move and have our beings in the great intelligence that make up the universe and the world. 4. The universal mind is responsive to thought. It creates what it is projected into it. The reason our conscious desires do not always manifest themselves in reality is twofold. 1. We are not projecting our thoughts with conviction. 2. There are prompters in the subconscious mind which cause our thinking to go astray. 6. The prompters in the subconscious mind make up the lock which bars us from proper use of the great power of the infinite. 7. These prompters are rejections of the conscious mind, buried in the subconscious and long forgotten. They are primarily pain experiences and thus are primarily negative, attracting and creating lack and limitation and disease and unhappiness. Number 8. This lock, these prompters, can be removed by understanding, studying, and application of the great laws of spirit. The high adventure. It is always necessary to understand something about a lock before you can use the key. It is equally important to understand a good deal about the key before you can use it to open the lock. In this first chapter, you have encountered the basic elements of the lock that keeps you from enjoying but a small fraction of your godlike given power. Certain elements of the key to the lock have been discussed. In the following chapters, you will arrive at a complete understanding of the lock and a complete understanding of the key, so that you will, without further help, be able to embark upon the most productive and happy and vital years of your life, and you are not likely to ever again meet with such high adventure as you study and experiment with your own divine nature, as you discover for yourself the great source of power and wisdom that exists within you. Don't argue with yourself. Subsequent chapters will cover such subjects as illusion, mind, form, faith, intuition, love, success, health, attraction, and immortality. The final chapter, the key, will reveal a great metaphysical secret. Throughout the book, we will undertake the study of hypnotism, thought transference, and clairvoyance, and we will show you how they are all products of the vast power of the universal subconscious mind. Enlightenment, however, is not going to be as simple as just reading the chapters. You must devote at least 10 minutes daily to practice of what you have learned, for only with this cooperation and effort can the rewards of self-realization be achieved. We ask you to spend 10 minutes daily in meditation, projecting your thoughts into the creative subconscious mind so that they can manifest into actuality. These meditation periods are designed to accomplish a purpose to prove to you that you can achieve your desires through the proper use of mental law. Of course, if you can spend 10 minutes each day saying yes, and the other 23 hours and 50 minutes saying no, the no will result. Obviously, the only way the yes can be manifested is when you do more affirming than denying. The subconscious mind always acts, and it acts on the most predominant thought. Therefore, commit the meditation to memory, carry it with you. Throughout the day, when circumstances appear to be negative, when disillusionment, depression, or discouragement knock at the door of your conscious, simply bring the meditation to your mind and say it over to yourself. The simple saying of the words will immediately restore your peace and confidence. You must understand that as a human soul, you can't quit using the law. You can't help using it a single minute of any day of your life. You're using it now. If you decide that you cannot achieve success, health, happiness, and peace of mind, then failure, illness, unhappiness, and confusion are yours. For the law still works, and you can't stop it from working. The only question you have to answer is whether you desire good or evil, for the law must bring you one or the other according to your desire. Wow. You know, when it comes to books like these, that's why I mentioned in the very first chapter or beginning this book, you have to have an open mind. So just look at the information, have an open mind, do some research, ask ChatGPT, ask any AI, ask science, read books, and there are some correlations. Yes, things in the book are metaphysical. Yes, some of them are philosophical, but in the end, what do you have to lose in trying what they suggest? Right? And that's the way I look at it. What do I have to lose by trying what he's suggesting? Nothing. Right? So, meditation, manifestation. In the beginning, the Word, and so it is with all creation, for the Word is the thought. Speaking the Word with conviction and maintaining that conviction with faith is the complete chain of manifestation from the thought of the thing. The first meditation, which is given at the end of this chapter, is designed to put you in contact with the universal subconscious mind, to provide you with a sense of peace, power, and security, for only with this sense of the absolute can you go through this entire book to complete self-realization and unlimited power. Subsequent meditations will aim at achieving specific results in the realms of success, accomplishment, money, health, love, and happiness. During your meditation periods, you must be alone. You must be in a place of quiet and solitude, undisturbed by other voices or the movements of other people. You must set your mind at rest, forgetting for the moment all cares and problems and people. You must let go. Let go of everything you know except self. When you can feel calm and peaceful, you will know that you are in contact with the universal mind. Then and only then, speak the meditation out loud. But don't simply speak it. Understand it, feel it, project it. It will manifest for you in actuality. And then it has a recommended reading, which is The Man Who Knew by Ralph Waldo Trine, published by Bob Smirl. Okay, the first meditation. I know that I am pure spirit, that I always have been, and that I always will be. There is inside of me a place of confidence and quietness and security, where all things are known and understood. This is the universal mind, God, of which I am a part and which responds to me as I ask of it. This universal mind knows the answers to all of my problems, and even now the answers are speeding their way to me. I needn't struggle for them. I needn't worry or strive for them. When the time comes, the answers will be there. I give my problems to the great mind of God. I let go of them, confident that the correct answers will return to me when they are needed. Through the great law of attraction, everything in life that I need for my work and fulfillment will come to me. It is not necessary that I strain about this, only believe. For in the strength of my belief, my faith will make it so. I see the hand of divine intelligence all about me. In the flower, the tree, the brook, the meadow, I know that the intelligence that created all things is in me and around me, and that I can call upon it for my slightest need. I know that my body is a manifestation of pure spirit, and that spirit is perfect. Therefore, my body is perfect also. I enjoy life, for each day brings a constant demonstration of the power and wonder of the universe, and myself. I am confident. I am secure. I am serene. I am sure. No matter what obstacle or undesirable circumstance crosses my path, I refuse to accept it. For it is nothing but illusion. There can be no obstacle or undesirable circumstance to the mind of God, which is in me and around me and serves me now. That's the end. That's the end of chapter 1. Now we're on to chapter 2. So, what do you think of that? What do you think of the first chapter? I hope your mind is starting to crack the bonds of the societal way of thinking that there is more to this life than the 5 senses. There is more to this life than what we see, smell, hear, taste, and touch. There are other things going on around us, and we have a lot more power and control over our realities than we think. We just have to believe, we have to try, and we have to see. And once you start consciously creating your life, and you see the synchronicities, and you see the correlations between everything that you're trying and then what's happening out in your reality, then you will believe, and then you'll be blown away like I was, because it's friggin' amazing. Some of the stuff I'm just like, whoa, what? That actually happened? What were we just thinking? We were thinking this, and then this happened? Holy smack. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, thank you for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate every single one of you that does, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you at the next one.